AI agents are everywhere right now, but I think a lot of companies are starting from the wrong place. They're asking, how do we build an agent? When the better question is, what work actually needs to happen? Because a year ago, building agents from scratch made a lot more sense. You had to connect the model to tools, you had to route the task, you had to tell what data to use. You had to decide what happens next. And that is why frameworks like LangChain and Microsoft Semantic Kernel became popular. They help developers build systems where the model could choose tools and move through steps. And to be clear, that can still be useful. But for most businesses, I don't think that's where you should start anymore. Because the major AI products are starting to absorb more of the agent layer. ChatGPT can already use tools, work across tasks, use connectors, and handle more complex workflows inside the product. Claude is moving more multi-step knowledge work into the product with Claude Cowork, while keeping the agent SDK for developers. Google is doing the same thing with Gemini. Gemini can connect into Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Maps, YouTube, and the rest of the Google ecosystem. And for more technical teams, Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform gives them a way to build and manage agents at scale. So the pattern is pretty obvious. Agent capability is becoming both a product feature and a developer platform, and that changes the economics. If OpenAI, Anthropic, or Google turn something into a built-in feature, the company that spent 3 months building that same thing has less of an advantage. The cost stays, the edge disappears. This doesn't mean that agents are useless. It means custom agent builds are getting harder to justify for most companies. There are still exceptions. If you're a large enterprise with complex internal systems, strict controls and workflows that current products cannot handle, you may still need custom agents. But most companies do not need to start with a framework. They need to start with a map of the work, and I think the simplest way to understand this is a file tree. A workflow is just the main folder. Inside that folder you have tasks. Inside each task you have the instructions, examples, data, tools, rules, and quality standards needed to complete that part of the work. And if the task has subtasks, those are just deeper folders. That sounds simple, but it changes everything. Because if the process only lives in code, every change becomes a developer problem. But if the process lives in a clear structure, people closest to the work can improve it. They can update examples, they can adjust rules, they can add new edge cases. They can make the workflow clearer without rebuilding the whole system. And over time, this matters more because the models are getting better at reading structures. They can follow instructions, they can use files, they can use tools, they can move across steps. And with standards like MCP, AI tools are getting a more common way to connect to files, databases, tools, and workflows. So the connection layer is becoming more standard, which means advantage moves somewhere else. It moves to the quality of the workflow. The better your workflow is documented, the easier it is for any capable model to use it. So I think the agent debate is mostly backwards. Don't start by building the agent. Start by mapping the work. Break the workflow into tasks and subtasks. Put the prompts, examples, data, tools, rules, and standards where they belong. Then choose the model or framework after the process is clear. Because AI models are eating more of the agent layer, and the companies that win will probably not be the ones with the most complicated agent stack. They'll be the ones with the clearest work system.